Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into a really powerful idea. What if I told you that our entire modern concept of poverty is just wrong? That the solution isn't about money, but about something fundamental that most of us have lost along the way. Let's get into it. Okay, so it all starts with this really jarring contrast, this tale of two cities that happen to be in the exact same place, California's San Francisco Bay Area. And seeing them side by side, it just forces you to ask some pretty uncomfortable questions. And this is the central paradox, right? How can a place with so much unbelievable beauty be home to so much raw human suffering? It's a contradiction that just doesn't make sense on the surface, which means we have to dig a little deeper. I mean, on the one hand, you've got the Bay Area you see on postcards. It is stunning, famous for these incredible landscapes. It's the kind of place people fly across the entire globe just to see. It's this picture of natural abundance, of wealth. But then there's the other side, and you can't avoid it. It's this stark, heartbreaking reality of a massive homelessness crisis. People living in makeshift shelters made of cardboard and plastic, right out in the open. The contrast is, well, it's a gut punch. So what's the official story here? What are we told is the problem? Well, the word we always hear is poverty. And the solution we're sold is a big war on poverty. But here's the thing. Despite all that talk, the problem keeps getting worse, which kind of suggests we might be completely misunderstanding what the problem actually is. And this is where things get really interesting. The author's whole perspective on this got completely flipped upside down, all thanks to a lecture that introduced a new way of looking at it just by changing one single word. Okay, so get this. The lecturer, who was from Thailand, says he had never even heard the word poverty until he was 9 years old. Just think about that. The concept literally didn't exist in his language. In his world, they saw need in a totally different way. See, instead of poverty, they used the word suffering. And suffering wasn't some vague, abstract idea. It was specific. It was a concrete problem with a direct, real-world solution. Are you hungry? The solution is food. Are you cold and exposed? The solution is shelter. It's simple, direct, and you know exactly what to do about it. And this simple shift in language reveals this huge paradigm shift. Suffering points right to the cause, like a lack of food. But poverty, the way we talk about it, only points to a symptom, a lack of money. The solution becomes indirect. Get more money so you can then go buy the food. That one little difference changes absolutely everything. And this modern obsession with money as the cure-all, well, it actually creates this devastating trap, a new kind of enslavement with consequences most of us never even think about. It happens in this tragic four-step spiral. First, people leave self-sufficient lives behind to chase money in the cities. But in getting that money, they trade their independence for total dependence. And what happens next? They lose the most essential skills a human can have. How to grow food, how to build shelter, and eventually, money isn't a tool anymore. It becomes, as the author puts it, a cruel taskmaster that they have to serve just to stay alive. And the author points out this devastating side effect. It's like we've developed a kind of cultural amnesia. We've forgotten that for almost all of human history, people lived dignified lives directly from the world around them. They could survive, even thrive, without needing money for every single thing. So, okay, if a lack of money isn't the real problem, it begs a massive question. What are our true riches? What does it actually mean to be wealthy? And from this new perspective, true wealth has nothing to do with what's in your bank account. It's in your hands. It's in your head. It's the skills we've traded away, the ability to grow your own food, to build your own shelter, to meet your own fundamental needs directly from the earth. That's the real gold. Which brings us to this incredibly powerful redefinition. True poverty isn't having an empty wallet. True poverty is a state of total helplessness. It's the inability to use the natural abundance that's all around us to provide for yourself. Let that one sink in. And that is why these skills are so critical. They represent genuine security. They represent a kind of freedom. That means your survival isn't completely tied to a paycheck or an economic system that's totally out of your control. Now, once you start seeing the world through this lens, a concept that we take for granted every single day, the idea of being unemployed, starts to sound completely and utterly insane. For the author, the final piece of this puzzle just clicks into place listening to a song. The lyrics were about people who were homeless, starving, even dying, for one single reason: They were unemployed. Just pause on that word for a second. Unemployed, not used. The author then has this thought experiment. Imagine a soul, after a life of homelessness, being asked this question. In a world literally overflowing with life and resources, how can it be possible that a person has no way to provide for themselves? It just highlights the sheer absurdity of a system where our very right to exist is tied to having a job. And this all leads to this huge moment of self-reflection. The author, who has a job, a home, a car, realizes they're trapped too. By trading away those essential life skills for a steady paycheck, they've also lost their true riches. They're just as enslaved to the system. And that really is the final provocative question this whole idea leaves us with. It forces every one of us to look at our own lives, our own skills, our own dependence on that paycheck, and to ask ourselves honestly, in this relentless pursuit of money, have we forgotten what it means to be truly rich? Are you also enslaved?